join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by Eric Closter.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joshua Tenzer, and you are listening to Michigan men's soccer as the Wolverines take on the Western Michigan Broncos in Ann Arbor. If you are joining us on YouTube, thank you for choosing to listen to us, and if you're listening to us on WCBN FM 88.3, thank you.
All right, we got a good one tonight. Got Michigan 6-3-3 versus Western Michigan 8-4. My name is Jack Molino. I'm joined along with Amir Bektis and Joshua
Tenzer.
Joshua Tenzer will be the play-by-play guy tonight, and I will be the color, and Amir will take over color in the second half. Michigan coming off a tough loss to Indiana, who's at the top of the Big Ten now. They lost last Sunday 1-0, their first loss in a few matches, but they still stand at 6-3-3 and 2-1-2 in the Big Ten. They stand third in the Big Ten, and they're playing a pretty good Western Michigan team tonight.
They absolutely are. Western Michigan is coming off a 4-game win streak, including one win over Loyola Marymount, who was number 22 at the time, now just sniffing the bottom of the rankings. Michigan is also looking to get into those rankings, and Western Michigan, a fantastic program, can't count them out. If they pull this upset tonight, they also may be looking at number 25 or 24 next week.
Yeah, Michigan right on the cusp of being ranked in the top 25, and you can't take this Western Michigan team lightly, even though they do play in the MAC. That probably means a little less than what it does in football as we get set for kickoff here right after 7:30. So Wolverines versus the Broncos in non-conference action here at, I'm not sure what the stadium is called, to be honest. Does it have a name?
Michigan Soccer Complex.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Western Michigan will start with the ball. They look like they have 3 defenders back. Michigan playing 2-4-4. It's what it looks like. We don't have any actual information on what they're doing, and the game is off. Western Michigan sending it down out of bounds on the right sideline.
And Michigan's goaltender, Andrew Verdi, has been one of the best in the Big Ten. He's only allowed 9 goals so far this season.
Michigan throw in over to Nebojsa Popovic on their left wing. Nebojsa Popovic gets the pass right back over to, I can't quite make out who that is, but doesn't matter because Western Michigan has taken the ball away. Working up the right flank with it now. Attempted clear by Michigan. It's kept in bounds. Nebojsa Popovic almost gets a pass, but it's intercepted. Number 24 for Anthony Bowie for Western Michigan with a long pass down the flank to Jake DeJulio, who's making his way in. Pass intercepted, and Giuseppe Vitali almost gets a foot on it. Now we have Abdus Maki letting the pass right up. Marky Barra attempts to clear to the half line. Michigan gets their feet on it.
Pretty back and forth game so far. Not a lot of consistent time possession. It's going to be a huge part of the game is keeping the ball out of these quick Western Michigan offensive players. The ball is centered now.
And it's a bouncing goal. You can hear the Western Michigan fans roaring. There are many of them here. It looked like Andrew Verity never saw it coming. A chip shot or a deflection. It was bouncing a lot as it went into the back of the net. I don't think anyone's expecting it. Giuseppe Vitale, number 18 for Western Michigan, with the goal. And the score here, a minute and a half into this game, is 1-0 Western Michigan.
It looks like Vitale's first goal of the season for the Broncos. And just a bouncing ball there. Looks like Verdi, like you said, never saw it. Kind of an unlucky bounce for it to be centered to that exact position. 1-0 Broncos early here in the first, not even 2 minutes into the game.
Nabovic Popovich passing it directly back to Mark Ibarra, sending it down to Michigan's right wing with Joel Harrison. A pass to Naboja Popovich doesn't find its way as Western Michigan clears it down the sidelines. About 3/4 of the way down the field, Joel Harrison throws into Mark Ibarra. A long pass to Andrew Verdi, hopefully looking to make up for that. That's 10% of his goals let in for the season right there. Abdou Samaki, a long pass, making its way over the head of everyone on the field, and it'll roll out of bounds for a goal kick by Isaac Walker.
You know, and Michigan hasn't played from behind too often in this season, so this is going to be kind of a different type of game for Michigan. See if the offense can't get going here pretty early. Definitely don't want to go down 2-0.
That is true. Most of their wins have been shutouts thanks to Andrew Verdi, who stepped in this year in a major role, his first year as starter, and as a senior, his last. A long punt to just past the halfway mark. Jackson Reagan from Michigan gets ahead on it, and now Farouk Osman dribbles it out of bounds on the right sideline about halfway into Western Michigan's zone.
Osman from Ghana, he's a current junior, one of the many international players on this roster.
Absolutely, Michigan is a very well-traveled team, if you can put it that way. Western Michigan gives up the ball. Now Michigan working their way into the zone. It's another throw-in for Western Michigan as it rolls out past the reach of Osman.
And how about this Western Michigan team winning 4 consecutive contests and a huge win against West Virginia, their MAC opener, and then, like you were talking about earlier, a key win against Michigan State, a Big Ten rival for Michigan. They've done some really good things this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win their conference, the MAC, this year.
I would not either. A long throw-in from Western Michigan falls right to the foot of Abdou Samaki, who kicks it into the stands. Now a short throw-in for Western Michigan. Shannon with the ball, a deep pass backwards to Skinner. Sends it to Isaac Walker inside the goal box. Sends it down the right sideline, and it's out of the stadium into the parking lot.
And that's why we got extra ball boys ready at hand.
Absolutely.
One of the many balls we'll see go out tonight.
Something interesting to note is that Jack Hallahan, one of Michigan's main starters and their best assister, is not starting today.
Interesting. He has 6 assists on the season, and like you were saying, he takes some long shots on goal, which leads to a lot of deflections and some assists for Hallahan. He's not in the starting lineup, like you said.
Absolutely. He's the main corner kick guy for the team as well. He was pulled halfway through the most recent home game for Michigan, so hopefully everything is okay with him there. He's probably going to get back on track. Walker with a long punt, almost past the circle. It's bouncing around, and Michigan looks like they'll take control. They send it right to the feet of Creek for Western Michigan. Passes it back to Shannon, and play is dead for a downed player for Western Michigan. It looks like
The trainers are coming out. I can't exactly see who the injured player is.
It looks like Sam Beek. He is jogging off gingerly. Number 6 for Western Michigan, or is
Yeah, it'd be
that
Beak.
might be Connerty as well. It's hard to tell from the number on the front.
Yeah, the gold numbers with the black jerseys is not helping for sure. Looks like it's going to be number 8.
That's not in the game.
Oh.
It is number 9,
Number 9
Eric Connerty.
from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it
The
looks
clock
like
has stopped here.
he
We
will
are
exit the game with only 5 minutes into the game. 40:03 left on the clock in the first half here. Western Michigan up 1-0.
Michigan is to the left. Michigan is goalie on the left. They are shooting towards the right. A long pass from Michigan down the right sideline, rolls out of bounds. Now a Western Michigan throw-in. Charlie Sharp gets his foot on it and pass backwards towards Brendan Skinner, who sends it back to Sharp. Midway down the field, almost exactly towards center field. Creek has a foot on it, surrounded by Michigan defenders, passes it to his left, and it is suddenly crossed all the way across the field, back into the center circle. Back now, Brendan Skinner with the ball. And a long pass that will eventually roll out of bounds on the right sideline for Michigan. Joel Harrison will take that. He's got Abdus Samaki and Farouk Osman.
We'll see if the Wolverines can get something going here. Seems like they haven't really settled into this game yet. Not too many good offensive possessions so far.
A throw towards Derek Broche. The WMU are calling for a handball, but nothing happened. Western Michigan clears, back out of bounds, almost the exact same spot, about 10 yards back from the halfway line on the right sideline for Michigan. Again, Joel Harrison will take the throw, landing it right at the feet of Nebojsa Popovich. Western Michigan maintains control from that, though. And Connerty, back from injury, sends it past a line of Michigan defenders. Sharp has no one to beat but 2 Michigan defenders and the goalie. He had no one to assist him, tried to get a pass off towards the rushing Caden Jackman, and nothing came of it. Michigan cleared, and now there will be a throw-in to the feet of Creek. Creek passes back towards Shannon. A shove towards Joel Harrison. Joel Harrison cornering him in the back left corner for Western Michigan.
Ooh, no penalty called there.
Absolutely.
Number 10, Osman, with a pretty nice mark there, but Western Michigan retains possession.
Derek Broche steals it away in the middle of the field, passing to Tellez. A beautiful pass from Tellez back to Broche, although it does not find its mark over the heads of multiple defenders. Brendan Skinner manages to get a foot on it. Derek Broche steals it back towards the beginning of the 18-yard box. A cross intended for Kevin Buka does not find its mark. Kevin Buka, famously the smallest player on the Michigan roster.
Yeah, for sure. Him and Popovich are both pretty small offensive players, but they definitely make their presence known in terms of scoring goals and scoring points.
Isaac Walker setting the ball up for a long punt.
And he has a leg, to say the least, kicking it over midfield almost every single kick.
He really does. Western Michigan now. Sharp with no one to beat but Verdi. Verdi with an amazing save, sliding. A rebound from Anthony Bowie goes just a bit high. And Michigan is still down 1-0, 36-49 left in this half.
Yeah, and Bowie and Sharp, both 5 goals on the season. Those are a dangerous duo to watch. And how about Bowie getting himself in position for the rebound?
Absolutely.
And just put it a little too high. Looks like Michigan's going to get away with one. Verdi kind of came out of the goal to contest Sharp, and Bowie was right there for the rebound.
His speed is nothing to scoff at.
Exactly.
Back at halfway, Shannon for Western Michigan attempts a pass. It goes right off the forehead of Harrison to the feet of Umar Farouk Osman. Tellez attempting to make a pass to break through the lines. The defense for Western Michigan, though, is airtight. Lima Matthews, a long pass, almost all of Michigan. Anthony Bowie towards the right side of the 18-yard box, attempts to make a cross. Jackson Reagan for Michigan breaks it up. Pass to Tellez towards midfield. Now sending it to Farouk Osman on the right side. Blocked off by a good screen, I guess you would call it, from Western Michigan defender. And an attempted clear goes off the foot of Farouk Osman. Now at halfway, Western Michigan, Sam Beek will have... Jalen Shannon, that's his first name. Jalen Shannon will have a throw-in. Michigan breaking it up, though. Tellez, some nice fancy footwork to pass to Farouk Osman on the right sideline. They're playing it close to this right side. Michigan tends to keep it towards their right wing. Joel Harrison, an attempted pass for Nebojsa Popovich, broken up by Western Michigan, who can't get anything going, and it's right back to the feet of Carlos Tellez.
Samaki doing a pretty good job on number 25, Sharp, keeping him in check so far. 5 goals in the season. It's a tough task for him tonight. Michigan's defense doing a pretty good job, except for that one mistake early in the game, leading to a goal for Western Michigan.
The University of Michigan Wolverines sending a long pass towards Derek Broche. It rolls out of bounds on the left sideline, though. Western Michigan will now get a chance to have another throw-in. It appears that Michigan is swarming the area of the throw-in a little bit, but the throw-in remains successful. A pass high into the air for Sharp lands almost ineffectually, and Anthony Bowie, chasing the ball, fell down. That's something that this pitch sees a lot of. This Ann Arbor pitch has a lot of people slipping and falling. Almost a comedic Monty Python effect. A throw-in for Western Michigan finds no one. Now Michigan sends a clear, again out of bounds, and this time it remains in the stadium after bouncing off the roof of the fan section, the student section, rather.
The Wolverines not winning too many of the 50-50 balls at midfield tonight. I'd say Western Michigan kind of came out a little more aggressive tonight, and I think that's why they have a lot more time of possession and a few more shots on goal than Michigan, who has 0 tonight.
I would agree. Their fast speed now across, broken up by Joel Harrison at the clear. Jackson Reagan and Kevin Buka. Kevin Buka crossing it towards the Michigan's right wing, towards Samaki and Harrison, playing a little bit of catch with each other. Mark Ibarra, one of Michigan's top goal scorers, dribbling up towards the center field, sending it to the left wing for Michigan. Now Nebojsa Popovich with the ball, trying to get around some Western Michigan defenders. He elects to pass it back now twice. And a long pass to Andrew Verdi. Sends it now, attempting something on the right side. Michigan's more comfortable side, maybe their stronger side. Joel Harrison on the right sideline with the ball going towards center field back to Reagan. Reagan seems to be their point man for setting up a lot of offensive attacks. Nebojsa Popovich now with the ball, past halfway. An attempted pass, Western Michigan is able to break up. Now Creek with a long ball towards Noah Abdusamaki is able to header it away harmlessly.
Popovich with an uncharacteristic turnover there, not able to take care of the ball. But Michigan has the ball back in their own zone, looking to get something going.
Back on his right sideline, Farouk Osman and Joel Harrison back and forth, biding time, waiting for something to form. Now it's over towards center with Jackson Reagan. Nice pass through 3 Western Michigan defenders. Derek Broche, the most recent goal scorer, a pass towards Nebojsa Popovich, and a long ball from just outside the 18-yard box from Carlos Tejas, hoping to make his mark. This is his 3rd straight game as a starter, his 3rd game as a starter overall. Just wide from a little bit past the goalie box.
Walker in goal for the Broncos tonight, 80% save percentage, 32 saves in this season. He's done a pretty good job. And he did not make contact with that one. That one just a little wide, but not a bad shot for the Michigan Wolverines. Really their first good offensive possession of the night.
Absolutely. Isaac Walker again with a long punt. This time, his shortest of the night, not making its way to halfway. Western Michigan wins that skirmish for it.
And wow, Bowie really all over the field. He's been on the left side, the right side. He's one of the best midfielders Michigan will probably see this entire season.
Tejas tripped up, no foul called. Now Sharp waiting for the ball. He gets it just past half field for the Western Michigan Broncos. A long pass backwards for Western Michigan. Nebojsa Popovich trying to play a little bit of defense from behind. Nothing comes of it. Skinner over towards the Western Michigan's left side of the field. Waiting for a pass. He sends it over to Beek. Back to Walker for a long kick. Past halfway. Western Michigan winning that a 50-50 ball again, but Michigan is able to control it and send it back down the field, back to the feet of Walker.
Bowie really showing his vertical there, jumped at least 2 or 3 feet into the air
Very impressive
to make that head ball.
Mark Ibarra, a pass through defenders, and Derek Broche pushed to the ground. Again, no call. Now Sharp just has Samaki to beat. He likes to pass behind him to Shannon, who's got the ball on his feet almost on the left sideline. Sharp taken down. It's a clean call. Shannon attempting to get something going, but in the end, the ball comes to Mark Ibarra, who attempts to clear it. It's now Western Michigan's ball, half line. Kevin Buka gets his feet on a clear. Kevin Buka now rushing in almost all alone. He's got Nebojsa Popovic ahead of him as he goes towards the left corner of the 18-yard box. See if he tries to make a cross here. Like I said, this pitch is slippery. He does make a cross to no one. It's cleared up by Skinner. Derek Broche attempts to get a foot on it. Now Samaki, a pass towards Tellez, blocked by a Western Michigan defender. Broche back at the top of the 18-yard box towards the middle, trying to dribble towards his left. He passes it out to Declan Gaffney, who does not have a lot of playing time for this team. He looks like he is replacing... I'm not sure if he's replacing now, but Declan Gaffney is starting this game.
They made the center. Michigan had a nice center. It looks like Broche and Popovich weren't really ready for the center, and the ball was just kind of cleared back out. It was a nice center, but no goal or even a shot on goal after that center. Michigan still has the ball with a free kick just outside the goal box here on the far side.
It looks like Marky Barr will be taking this as he sends it in. Walker gets to punch it out, and it is cleared by Western Michigan. Just past half line on University of Michigan's left wing.
Walker decided to go with the aggressive approach, almost coming out of the smaller goalie box and with a nice punch there, doing a pretty good job.
I think that can describe all of Western Michigan taking the aggressive approach with this game, really taking the Wolverines off guard, as now a pass back to Samaki in the center of Michigan's zone. Towards the right sideline with Joel Harrison, Umar Farouk Osman, a beautiful pass. Umar Farouk Osman is now holding his ankle. He is getting up okay as Western Michigan is able to clear the ball. Farouk Osman is now walking gingerly on his left leg away from the action, so he looks to be fine as Michigan attempts to set up another play. On the right sideline, Joel Harrison, his usual role of biding time, trying to draw Eric Connerty of Western Michigan a little bit away from whatever we'll be setting up. Nebojsa Popovic and Marky Barra on top of each other as Marky Barra passes it to the left sideline where Kevin Buka is waiting, passing it back. Now on the left sideline where Michigan tends to be a little less comfortable, a little less opportunities coming from that side.
Looks like the whole Michigan attack has moved forward into Western Michigan zone. Let's see if they can get a good chance here.
Farouk Osman dribbling down the right sideline as it goes out of bounds, Western Michigan ball. Any attempt at an offensive rush there, spoiled by a spin of the ball. Western Michigan, as we said that, have had all of their players past the half line on Western Michigan zone.
It looks like it's going to be a yellow card on number 9 on the Western Michigan.
On Eric Connerty. Must have...
Much of the dismay of the Western Michigan bench, I'd say.
And the fans, they have gone silent. If you can hear a lot of cheering, the fans from Western Michigan from Kalamazoo have taken quite the journey. 2 yellow cards now, probably from pushing and shoving. We'll hear what those are for. It's a little bit out of our view from our box.
In the southwest corner of the Michigan soccer complex as the ball is cleared back out.
A beautiful clear landing at the feet of Declan Gaffney, who attempts to send it back the other way, and it falls ineffectually. Jalen Shannon, one of the yellow cards for Western Michigan. Number 5, I wouldn't be surprised if Western Michigan subs him out. They are a team known for making a significant amount of substitutions in their game, 7 or 8 per game.
And Western Michigan winning another 50-50 ball around midfield, giving them another good possession here in Michigan zone.
Bowie is rushing up towards the right side of the box. A beautiful clear. Joel Harrison managed to get a foot on it, but it goes right back to Western Michigan, still on the right side of the box. A centered attempt. Samaki clears, and now Joel Harrison sending it past halfway, out of danger, and it rolls out of bounds on the Michigan's left flank. Western Michigan with a throw-in.
55 left here in the first half. Michigan down 1-0 after a very early goal for the Broncos. It was, I believe, his first goal of the season, Vitali.
Michigan now with an offensive rush on the left side of Western Michigan's goal box. A pass towards Kevin Buka in the corner. He evades a defender with a spin move almost. Now setting it back up, a long shot into the box, headed away harmlessly, and Western Michigan will clear it. It rolls past the half line inside the circle, Samaki passing to Harrison on the right side. And now all the way back to Andrew Verity, who will hope to set something up for his team. Now on the right side again, Joel Harrison, avoiding two Western Michigan defenders to Farouk Osman. Now Tellez with the ball, gives it up to Creek. Creek over towards center field for Western Michigan, and they pass back to Beek. Now over to Creek again, almost in the same spot. Western Michigan passing towards Skinner on their left side. Back to Creek in the middle, surrounded by Michigan defenders. Passes it back to an unmarked Skinner, who sends it back over to Walker. And another long punt to start something. 50-50 ball bouncing around the air, won by Western Michigan. And now there's a foul on Western Michigan. It will now be a kick from Joel Harrison halfway into Western Michigan's offensive zone.
Looks like the foul was against Charlie Sharp, the midfielder freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Looks like he got a little too much contact there on that header.
Now the ball back inside the center circle for Samaki, a pass to Tellez, who gets bodied, but no call on the play. And Western Michigan clears it over to Jackson Reagan, who sends it back towards Andrew Verity inside the box.
That would have been a pretty nice touch pass to Derek Broche, who had all open field ahead of him, just a little too far for Broche. It would have been a pretty good chance.
Tellez still hoping to make his mark as a starter. This is, like I said, his third game. Western Michigan attempts to clear. It lands straight under the feet of Jackson Reagan, who steps on it, making it an almost instantly dead ball. He kept running and the ball did not. Now Kevin Buka sending it back towards Abdou Samaki in the center of the field. A couple of pinball passes almost. Now Joel Harrison running down the right flank with it. An attempted pass towards Tellez, intercepted by Western Michigan's Giuseppe Vitali. Now Joel Harrison gets it back. A strong pass off the foot of Mark Ibarra on the right sideline just rolls out of bounds from a Western Michigan deflection. And now Joel Harrison hoping to set something up for his team here, hoping to get the Michigan Wolverines to a 1-1 tie so far. But as I said, it is 0-1 Western Michigan. Derek Broche attempting to steal the ball in the back right corner. An errant pass from Western Michigan goes off Umar Farouk Osman, and it is now Western Michigan's throw-in.
Derek Broche looks like he's disagreeing with the call there, and he was getting marked pretty hard by the big Western Michigan defender, Brendan Skinner. Looks like he's at least 6'2 or 6'3. Michigan's going to have a tough task getting anything past him tonight.
Sharp now running down the field, only got Jackson Reagan to beat, and Jackson Reagan does not make a clean tackle, sending Sharp head over heels. It is the referee's call that it is going to be a free kick for Western Michigan.
How about Sharp showing his athleticism on the near sideline? Almost got the ball past Reagan, and he would have had a all open field ahead of him, but looks like Reagan is going to get called for the penalty. It's going to be a free kick.
Paul Liagre is going to take it from a yard or two away from the right sideline, about halfway from the half line to Michigan's goal. He's holding his fist up, ready for action, waiting for the thumbs up, and he sends it into the box, headed away by Carlos Tellez, and Nebojsa Popovich sending it back to halfway, and Western Michigan Bronco opportunity is no more. The ball is sent up and out of bounds by Western Michigan, another ball into the parking lot, and Michigan will have a throw-in from the far sideline. Michigan is heading towards the right. Western Michigan is heading towards the left. It is 1-0 with 21 minutes left. Derek Broche gets his head on the throw-in, but it is sent out of bounds from a Western Michigan clear, halfway through between Michigan at goal and the half line. Western Michigan holding their defense is strong. They have a 6-man formation in the back ready for something. A 50-50 ball now won by Derek Broche, one of the rare wins for Michigan in those toss-ups.
Yeah.
On the left sideline now, Declan Gaffney has it, sending it back towards Mark Ibarra towards the half line.
Ill-advised pass there by number 23. It was Jabara but Michigan has
Absolutely.
it back.
Kevin Buka bullied down, his smaller size being used against him, and there is a foul on
Looks like the
Mark Ibarra,
Wolverines. Yeah.
interestingly enough, or Kevin Buka when he was thrown down.
Yeah, Buka looked like he was the one that got fouled, but looks like the foul's going to go against the Wolverines.
A 50-50 ball from a long pass won by Western Michigan. Creek right at the center dot, dribbling towards his left. Mark Ibarra, right behind him, sending it back towards Skinner and gets right back to Creek. Western Michigan attempting to set up some sort of offensive on the left sideline. Sending it over to Giuseppe Vitali. I love saying his name. Giuseppe Vitali passing back towards Skinner, who's on the left side for Western Michigan. Shannon across towards center, trying to get past Michigan defenders, but Jackson Reagan is there and Abdu Samaki is there as well to say no. Declan Gaffney clears it. Attempt for an offense is taken away by Western Michigan, clear right back. And Declan Gaffney, another long kick towards no Michigan Wolverines, but Skinner is there for Western Michigan to get a foot on it.
Yes, Wolverines using a lot of clear balls tonight and not really giving a chance for the Michigan offensive players to really handle the ball and get something set on offense.
Mark Ibarra trying to draw a foul unsuccessfully. Abdu Samaki now towards the center of his goal box, passing it back to Andrew Verdi, who is getting rushed now by a couple of Western Michigan attackers hoping to make something happen. Joel Harrison getting the ball from Verdi. Western Michigan looking for a handball. Nothing's happening, though, for them. The referees are not exactly ready to stop play very often. Derek Broche gets a head on it, but it's a 50-50 ball sent towards Western Michigan, who will kick it the long way down to Andrew Verdi.
It's almost like we're watching a tennis match here, Josh.
It really is.
Back and forth.
Tennis complex couple feet away from us.
That's a good point.
Abdu Samaki waiting, looking for something to happen while he's closer to the right side, just outside the 18-yard box, sending it back to Andrew Verdi. Now Jackson Reagan with the ball for Michigan, being hurried up by Sharp, trying to make him slip up or lose the ball. A long pass into Western Michigan zone, finds the head of Skinner. It rolls out of bounds on the right sideline, and it is Western Michigan's ball. They're saying there was too much contact by Derek Broche, and Walker will now take this a couple yards outside of his box as a free kick.
Skimmer really doing a good job of holding Broche in check tonight. He's been all over these Michigan offensive players.
He has been drawing many, many fouls from Derek Broche.
Yeah.
If Broche isn't careful, he might get a yellow card soon. A long kick from Walker, a 50-50 ball headed around a few times, now knocked around with some feet. And Creek, a pass towards Bowie. Bowie sends it over to Paul Liagre, who sends it into a clear. No one on it, and it rolls out of bounds just left of the Michigan goal. Sharp almost getting a foot on it, mere feet away from the goal line. If he would have gotten a kick on it, it would be over. And now Bowie is heading out for Max Keenan for Western Michigan. And Harry Pithers. Harry Pithers replacing Umar Farouk Osman, and I misspoke. Keenan is replacing Eric Connerty. It looked like Bowie was just coming off the field. He was just talking to some people.
It looks like Sharp would have had a 6th goal this season, and this game would have been 2-0. Looks like he had a good chance. He just missed it.
Joel Harrison rushing down the right sideline, passing towards Harry Pithers, the fresh substitute. The last Michigan home game, we saw a fresh substitute score within the first 3 minutes of being on Derek Broche. So maybe Michigan will try to get some fresh blood into this game and get a little more life. Jackson Reagan inside the circle, passing towards the right. Joel Harrison. Mark Ibarra playing much farther back than he usually does. He sends a cross in towards Carlos Tellez, who cannot control it, and Western Michigan will clear Bowie halfway. Bowie gets a little shove, but doesn't take it, and now there's a foul or out of bounds going Michigan's way. A handball.
How about Pithers with the aggressive shove coming right into this game, showing no remorse whatsoever, and he's going to give Michigan a free kick here. It's going to be number 23.
Mark Ibarra.
Ibarra to take it.
Half-
He's got 6 goals or 6 assists on the season.
A nice pass in towards Pithers, but it's broken up by Western Michigan, and now a clear sent towards the half line. It is off of Samaki's head, and now Western Michigan will get a throw in. And Western Michigan, their second substitution of the night. Dylan Singh coming in for Caden Jackman. Caden Jackman coming out of Caledonia, Michigan. And Shannon with a throw towards Creek, bouncing around the feet of a bunch of Michigan players. Harry Pithers maintaining possession of the ball until he falls down on this slippery Michigan pitch, giving it right over to Bowie. A strong pass by Bowie, blocked by the side of the foot for Carlos Tellez, and it rolls out of bounds right at the halfway line. Western Michigan will get a throw in. Taken by, again, Jaden Shannon. Looking for something to happen. Most Western Michigan players are closely marked. He tries to roll it down towards Bowie, who makes an errant pass, twice. Kevin Buka towards the middle, attempting something to happen. He falls down, and it looks a little worse for wear on the play, limping and skipping off his way. Now, Max Keenan, the fresh player for Western Michigan, getting a pass on their right sideline. Michigan tying him up, though, and Jackson Reagan to Nebojsa Popovich, coming towards center, an errant pass by Nebojsa Popovich. That is very rare to see. Western Michigan attempting a clear, but it will roll out of bounds on Michigan's left side.
The Wolverines have seemed to utilize the touch pass a lot tonight, but the touch pass not too accurate for the Wolverines. They haven't really been able to handle it and get anything going on offense. Credit to this Western Michigan offense or defense.
That'll be something they're working on in the practice heading up to these next vital Final Four games of the season. Derek Broche now, the most recent goal scorer, a long pass, just passes Nebojsa Popovich as it goes into the 18-yard box.
Popovich giving a signal to number 7, Broche, who seems like Popovich liked the pass there, just a little too far over Popovich, who hasn't gotten much going tonight. He's only seen the ball a few times.
That's the thing about soccer. Something can happen in the blink of an eye, like Western Michigan Broncos had 1.5 minutes into the game, and they have had 2 offensive opportunities all game. A strong punt by Walker. Now Sharp has it, surrounded by 4 Michigan defenders. He gets past one, sends it over to Bowie, all alone on the left side of the box. A long pass, a hand save by Verdi, who cannot control the rebound. Kevin Buka elects to clear it in line with the top of the 18-yard box. Now on the right side for Western Michigan, a throw-in towards Creek, who is marked by Kevin Buka. Creek, again, just waiting, looking for something to happen. A pass down the sideline towards the corner. Buka slipped up, but he manages to steal the ball. And Western Michigan will pass back. And the ball is staying its way on the far sideline, so forgive me if the calls are a little inaccurate. Attempted clear by Tellez, blocked off the back of a Western Michigan player. And now Max Keenan attempts a pass, failed. Bowie attempts to cross off the back of Kevin Buka and now rolls out of bounds about 10 yards from the goal line and on the right sideline for Western Michigan.
Going back to that save, Verdi with a really good hand save, like you said, ready for that shot from Bowie.
A cross in, cleared away harmlessly by Michigan, and now Western Michigan setting up another attack. The ball playing ping pong in the air almost, and a clear from Michigan. A 50-50 ball. Pithers gets a foot on it, and so does Jake DeJulio for Giuseppe Vitale for Western Michigan. Now Michigan controlling the ball on their left side at halfway. A pass over towards Samaki, and Joel Harrison now on the right side. Michigan getting it back to where they're slightly more comfortable. Harry Pithers playing this right side winger role very well. Joel Harrison sending it towards the back of the circle for Reagan, who will dribble up, waiting for an opportunity, passing back to Samaki inside the circle, and a moderately long pass to Mark Ibarra, who sends the ball in towards the box for Pithers. Pithers knocked down, getting a foot on it. Nebojsa Popovich a cross, and is cleared away harmlessly by the head of a defender. And a long shot or pass attempt from Jackson Reagan rolls very far wide, and it'll be a goal kick for Isaac Walker.
A few substitutions here for the Wolverines and the Western Michigan Broncos.
Sweek Christian Pacelli and Sosa Amovin coming in for Michigan, coming off Nebojsa Popovich, Derek Broche, and Kevin Buka. Hopefully giving them a little bit of rest time before the second half, 10 minutes remaining in the first.
Antonio Rizzo coming in for the Broncos, pretty close to Anthony Rizzo for the Chicago Cubs.
Yep, that's how I learned his name. Clear from Walker. Goal kick, I should say. Now bouncing around, no one really managing to get full control on it. Now Tellez, a pass to Pithers on the right sideline for Michigan. Across, around halfway, through the circle for Declan Gaffney, who sends it up, a pass intercepted, back to his feet. He gets a pass over towards Austin Swyke, one of the newer members for Michigan since the substitution, and it rolls out of bounds off of a Western Michigan Bronco. Now Declan Gaffney with a throw in about 15 or 20 yards away from half line on the left side for Michigan into Western Michigan zone. A throw in towards the corner as Swyke attempts to pass to Tellez, broken up. Now Creek with the ball for it, passing it over. Another errant pass from Michigan. Some wasted opportunities offensively, I would even say.
For sure, for sure.
Now Harrison with the feet on it inside the circle, sending it over towards Pithers on the right side. Back to Harrison across midfield on the defensive side for Michigan. Jackson Reagan on the left side of the circle. A long pass looking for Pacelli. Gets it to Marky Barra. The ball is up in the air and out of bounds. It'll be a corner for Marky Barra on the left side for Michigan, Michigan's left wing.
A nice handle there by number 5, Samake, who got the ball to Ibarra, who just mishandled it. Ball goes out of bounds. A corner kick on the far side for the Wolverines here with 8:40 left in the first half.
Michigan crowding the box. Excuse me again. The kick sent in, and Walker jumps up high over everyone else and manages to catch it. Coming down on it, Walker will get a chance to punt.
Walker playing aggressive again, comes out and gets the ball before any Michigan offensive players can touch it. Nice play there by Walker, showing why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the nation.
Corner kicks, usually a great offensive opportunity, a tool in the Michigan arsenal, now being shot down. Harry Pithers attempts to kick into the zone, blocked by Shannon, almost coming up towards the booth. Gave me a little fright. I had to back away from the window. Joel Harrison, throw down the right side for Michigan. Western Michigan will maintain control. Creek surrounded by players from Michigan. Attempts a pass. It is ineffectual, rolls out of bounds. A throw-in from Harrison. Passing to Tellez, back to Harrison on the right sideline. It's taken away. Creek, a pass towards Sharp, who has fallen down. Abdou Samaki sending it over towards Jackson Reagan, who's got no one around him, giving Michigan a chance to catch their breaths. Marky Barra now, usually playing up now a little bit towards the back, I would even call him a midfielder. Right now, he usually plays a more forward role. Abdou Samaki right towards exactly the middle of the field with Jackson Reagan dribbling forwards. A soft pass to Christian Pacelli, dribbling forwards as well. Now Austin Swyke gives it up to Max Keenan from Western Michigan. Trying to get past Swyke, is unable to, sending a pass right to Declan Gaffney, who will send a pass right back to Western Michigan. A lot of intercepted passes from both teams happening here. Tellez now with the ball, sending it towards the right sideline with Joel Harrison. And now back to Tellez in the center. Tellez getting rushed, sends it over to Sosa Amovin, all alone in the box, just surrounded by Western Michigan defenders. The black jerseys engulfing him, and he gives it up. Now Tellez maintaining control, passing to Marky Barra in the center towards the back half of Western Michigan's defensive zone.
Let's see if the Wolverines can take advantage of the Western Michigan Broncos not being able to clear the ball here. Michigan has had it in the Broncos zone for about a minute now.
Tellez now passing over towards Sosa Amovin, getting inside the box, an attempted clear, unsuccessful by Western Michigan. Jackson Reagan stopping that one, sending it to the left, but to Declan Gaffney, hoping for something new to come from the other side of the field. An errant pass from Michigan rolls out of bounds on the left side, and it will be a throw-in for Western Michigan. And now 2 substitutions coming in from Western Michigan. Sharp coming off, getting some rest for Pepe Martinez-Bertrand, and Dylan Singh coming off after just coming in for Daniel Nimick.
The freshman defenseman from England for the Broncos.
Now a throw in for Western Michigan, maintaining control towards their corner of the box. Passes to Pithers, intercepting. Now Sosa Movin inside the box on the right side. A slight touch from Western Michigan gets it away. Now Joel Harrison got plenty of space around him, a beautiful juke to get past the defenders, and he is now running in, loses the ball. He keeps going, the ball does not. A pass to Pithers on the right side. They're swarmed by Western Michigan defenders. An attempted breakthrough pass across into the box, cleared away by Skinner, and now it'll be a throw-in about 20 or 30 yards from the goal line on Michigan's right side.
And these Western Michigan defenders doing a pretty good job of perimeter defense, not allowing any center for the Wolverines.
Joel Harrison, a throw-in passing towards the center of the box. Now Michigan will attempt something new from the left side, sending it all the way to the right side, back to Pithers. A cross knocked away by the head of a Western Michigan Bronco defender. Now it looks like it'll be a goal kick for Walker as the ball rolls out of bounds off an attempted pass from Carlos Tellez towards Harry Pithers. Harry Pithers blocked off by the body of Western Michigan defenders. Now it looks like Walker, with 4 minutes left, will take his time getting ready, hoping the Western Michigan Broncos will take this lead heading into the half.
Shannon and Skinner, two probably the more aggressive defenders that Michigan will see all season. Both very big defenders. Skinner at least 6'3", and Shannon definitely above 6 foot, using some aggressive defense against the Wolverines.
A long punt just halfway. Jackson Reagan gets ahead on it. Now Western Michigan will have a throw-in on their left flank. Shannon will take it. Throws it to the feet of Marky Barra, who sends it up right back to himself. Tellez down and sending it backwards towards Jackson Reagan. Again to the right sideline, Joel Harrison. Now Abdus Samaki backwards towards the center for Jackson Reagan. Now the left side to Clan Gaffney, and Michigan trying to bide some time, gets something going. All the way to the other side of the field. Samaki, a long pass in towards Western Michigan's zone. Tellez will not be able to control it, though, and the ball will roll out of bounds for a Western Michigan throw-in on the left side. Their right, Michigan's left.
Clock ticks down towards 3 minutes left in the first half. Michigan's down 1-0 here. Michigan has a pretty good chance here.
An errant throw-in leads towards Michigan having the ball, and a foul will be called on Tellez, attempting to make a slide tackle, but Beek got the ball away just before. Getting no contact on it was Tellez, and all contact on Beek's ankle. Walker taking this free kick about 10 yards outside of his box. Winds up a long kick, as he is usually doing. Harrison actually winning this 50-50 ball over to Sosa Movin. Tries a pass to Harry Pithers. Intercepted by Western Michigan. Harry Pithers swarming the Western Michigan player, though. No call on the field as Western Michigan players have fallen. Harry Pithers attempting something, but broken up by Giuseppe Vitali. A long pass down the left side for Western Michigan rolls out of bounds, and now Joel Harrison, halfway between the half line and Michigan's goal, will take a throw-in. Gets maybe a little more forward on it than the ball went out of bounds, but that's all right. As the ball is sent towards Andrew Verdi by Western Michigan. It looks like Pepe Martinez Bertrand will attempt to pressure Verdi a little bit, but no luck. Now Marky Barra on the left side trying to make something happen in this final 1.5 minutes for Michigan. Trying to not take this deficit down into the locker room with them, where surely Chaka Daly will say something.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Now on the left side to Clan Gaffney and Jackson Reagan at halfway. Jackson Reagan gives the ball up toward Pepe Martinez. Bertrand, who just gives a pass away. He tried to get it over to Antonio Rizzo. Unfortunately, it was too long of a pass for him, and Andrew Verdi was able to clear it. Now there's a stoppage in play, a handball. Nope. Offsides. I'm sorry, I don't know the referee hand signals in the slightest.
First offsides of the night for either team.
Yeah.
Has been a pretty continuous game, other than one injury, a few substitutions, and a few penalties, but this half has gone pretty quickly. We wind down under a minute here.
Now the final 45 seconds ticking down. Western Michigan attempting to make something happen. Some players fall over each other, and now there's a foul inside, almost inside the goal box.
Some pushing and shoving going on against the Broncos and Wolverines.
Things are getting heated. Referees from all sides, linesmen coming in as well, making sure nothing's happening. Now, Samaki getting a little aggressive towards Western Michigan player.
Some extracurriculars, I'd say.
Yeah, Liagre, who will now be sent far away from the action with a push from Andrew Verdi. People are talking, accusing, fingers pointing.
But probably just some anger that's built up for the Wolverines, playing a pretty aggressive and kind of, I don't know what the word would be. I think aggressive is a good word. Western Michigan, kind of a smaller team except for a few defenders, but they're definitely aggressive, and they like to pick off a lot of passes, kind of taking Michigan out of their element, I'd say, tonight. So Michigan will have to go into the locker room at halftime and definitely make some adjustments as we go into the second half.
Absolutely. Jackson Reagan and Pepe Martinez-Bertrand talking with the referees for quite a while now. 13 seconds left. Jackson Reagan getting a private talking to by one of the refs. And with 13 seconds, Verdi will get one last opportunity for something quick to happen for Michigan and before the half ends. And he sends it far, a 50-50 ball sent away by Western Michigan, landing at the feet, of Mark Ibarra, cleared away by Western Michigan Broncos defenders, and nothing will come. That is the half. Western Michigan leading 1-0 off of a goal 1.5 minutes in. If you're wondering why we keep saying how much time is left, that is because in NCAA college soccer, the clocks count down.
A little different than professional soccer, so that will end our first half. Josh Tenzer will rejoin the broadcast in the second half as play-by-play. Amir Beckes will join me here at halftime for our halftime show. Amir will be the color commentator in the second half. Amir's first broadcast as a WCBN broadcaster. Quick thoughts on the first half. I mean, we'll dive into each team's individually next, but just overall, how do you kind of see this game going?
Man, was Andrew Verdi busy the first half.
Yeah.
I believe Western Michigan had about 4 shots on net, with 3 of those saved by Verdi, and that early goal really set the tone for the whole game. Western Michigan was looking to capitalize on more goals after the first one, and then towards the end of the first half, it switched. Western was playing more defensive as Michigan was creating opportunities in the final third.
Yeah, the word I was looking for was pesty. I think that's how a good way to describe this Western
Yep.
Michigan team. Kind of jumping a lot of passing lanes. They're really aggressive at midfield in terms of getting those 50-50 balls. I mean, a few defenders in particular, number 5, Jalen Shannon and Brennan Skinner, a redshirt freshman and a junior respectively, really aggressive, not allowing Popovich or Mark Ybarra to really have anything going, to let Ybarra and Popovich get anything going offensively for Michigan. And I think Michigan knew this going in, but it looks like Western Michigan's game plan worked a little better. I'd say Michigan may be a little lucky even to be down 1-0. A few pretty good chances for Western Michigan other than that first chance. How about that chance from, I believe it was Sharp, who had a deflection chance, but it was Verdi who had a nice save. Michigan definitely losing the shots. I think they're losing 4-3 only, actually. But it's just looks like Western Michigan had a lot more offensive chances, to be honest.
Yeah, and Western Michigan's an up-and-coming program here in the state of Michigan. Earlier this season, they did go to East Lansing and pull off the upset against the Spartans, winning 1-0. And then also taking the Virginia team to overtime and eventually losing 1-0 to a very good Virginia team ranked number 2 at the time. So these Broncos are not a team that you can take lightly, and that's what it looked like the first half. Michigan was just kind of coast and hopefully possess the ball and then look to attack. But these Broncos scored early, got the momentum, and set the tone. The midfield play was definitely dominated by Western Michigan. Michigan is definitely a second-half team. I think Shaka Daly will get those boys motivated and come out early the first half. But same thing for Western. I think if they are able to get another goal early, they will park the bus. They will park the bus and play defense the whole entire second half. All the balls will be cleared out, and they will look for the 2-0 victory.
Now, it seems like, Amir, you know soccer a little better than me. Can Michigan do anything to win more 50-50 balls? Is that an adjustment you can make, or is that just, Western Michigan's just better at that, and you have to deal with that, or is there a way that Michigan can maybe position themselves better in the midfield to not allow all these 50-50 balls to go the Broncos' way?
It all starts with heart right now. That's where it all starts, is how bad do you want it? And Western definitely wanted it more. Winning those 50-50 balls, the scrappy plays. Towards the end, you saw there on the Michigan half, starting pushing Michigan players around as the temperatures are flaring up. Trying to get Michigan off their mojo to get a quick sloppy goal and then play defense the whole second half. The keys for Michigan to get back into this game, because we do have to remember they are only down 1-0.
And things can happen quickly in soccer.
Yes. It could happen in the first 30 seconds, or it could be at the last 30 seconds, but 1-0 is definitely a manageable game. Michigan's key is they have to own the midfield. Right now, it just seems like they're playing kickball. We are trying to get the ball up to Sasha Popovich, who was very quiet the first half. Leading goal scorer for the Big Ten was not very active.
No, it looks like Michigan was definitely utilizing the clearing pass, trying to get Popovich involved downfield. But, it looks like Western Michigan, especially Sharp or Shannon and Skinner, were almost expecting that and beating Popovich to the spot. And none of those clear balls were really working for the Wolverines. So maybe they have to kind of get into more of a set offensively and go from there. But like you said, the 50-50 balls are killing Michigan so far. But the Western Michigan's not a team to take lightly. You look at their schedule; they're 8-4. They had a marquee win against Michigan State, a tough loss at number 2 Virginia, 0-1 in overtime. Anytime you lose to the second team, the number 2 team in the country, 0-1 at their place, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, especially on the road against the number 2 Virginia team is not easy. A road game is never easy for anybody.
Yeah, they played in the MAC. They actually won their first MACtion game against West Virginia. They will only play 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 total MAC games. That's just how their conference works. They got Akron next on Sunday. But they're 1-0 in the MAC. I'm guessing they'll probably win this division as the 31st best team in the country. But you look at Michigan, obviously winning the last 4, down 1-0 tonight. Or actually, winning the last 4 before last game, a tough loss to number 4 Indiana. Michigan's a really good team too. They lost on the road at a really tough team in the Hoosiers, but they still got 5 games left after this game. But I would definitely say these two teams could compete in the playoffs. They have a good offensive, defensive squads, and they have 2 very, very good goalkeepers, in my opinion.
Yes, very good, good goalkeeping. Definitely, whoever wins this game will be a good resume builder going into the postseason. Yeah,
on both sides, whether you beat Michigan or you beat Western Michigan, either way, like you said, Walker and Verdi with 80% and 71% save percentage on the season. Verdi actually only allowed 9 goals in the season. If you take away the first game where they lost to Florida Gulf Coast 4-3, only 5 goals on the season.
Yeah, he's been a solid keeper for the Wolverines this year, especially stepping into a role as a starter.
Yeah, that's definitely never easy. Looks like Walker is a redshirt freshman, so this will be his first season. Pretty impressive as a redshirt freshman to have 32 saves in the season coming into this one, an 80% save percentage. And we've seen him be pretty aggressive in the box. He's come out and gotten a few corner kicks, come out and gotten a few free kicks, not allowing Popovich or any of those Michigan offensive players to even have a chance. But, this game is really going to come down to winning the 50-50 balls, and if a few things can go Michigan's way. You saw Western Michigan had a few deflections that kind of went their way, giving them a few chances. Michigan has to just keep the ball in Western Michigan's zone and hopefully a few deflections go their way and they can get a few quick goals.
For sure, if Michigan's able to come out and possess the ball early and look to go to goal, they will definitely create opportunities and put Western Michigan on their heels, and then that's when the gates open up and you create chances that will go in for you.
Yeah, and taking a break from soccer real quick, this is WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan men's soccer on 88.3 FM and also on our YouTube page if you're listening through there, looking at WCBN's upcoming coverage. We cover a lot of sports here at the University of Michigan, everywhere from volleyball, ice hockey, football, baseball, who actually has its first exhibition on Sunday noon. But we have volleyball tomorrow versus Penn State at 7 o'clock. Also tomorrow night is ice hockey versus Lake Superior. Alex Streen and Jack Monk on the call. On Saturday, volleyball plays against Rutgers once again. And then football at Happy Valley versus Penn State. Alex Streen, Andy Laidlaw, Andrew Miller, and Dana Thompson are making the trip out to Pennsylvania for that game.
Big game for the Wolverines.
Yeah,
and
huge
Penn
game for the
State.
Wolverines. Yeah, a huge weekend for Michigan sports in general, but obviously a lot of the attention is always geared towards football here in Ann Arbor. The spread is about 9 right now. Any thoughts on that game?
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think, whoever wins that game is going to be the favorite to contend against Ohio State, who has looked
East, yeah.
unbeatable this year. Not only in the Big Ten, but in the college football playoff picture. I think the keys for Michigan is to definitely come out early, set the tone, get the fans out of the game. Whiteout game in Happy Valley. If Michigan can hold the ball and not have turnovers, they will be successful.
And you can overanalyze the football program as much as you want, but at some point you have to win in order to be, a competitive, Big Ten team looking to win national championships. You have to beat ranked teams on the road, and obviously Harbaugh has yet to do that in his tenure at the University of Michigan. This is just another great chance for Harbaugh, playing a very good Penn State team who had a nice win at Kinnick last Saturday. Like you said, the winner of this game will compete against Ohio State. It's going to be Penn State or Michigan. I can't see Michigan State competing. They already lost to Ohio State. So this is a huge game for football.
Yeah, Michigan football's got not only the Penn State game, but then going into Notre Dame. So big games coming up for the Wolverines that will define their season, because a lot of people have counted them out for not only the college football playoff, but being a contender in the Big Ten East. So definitely a win in Happy Valley will silence the critics and put Michigan back into that picture.
And then other coverage includes Michigan baseball, their first exhibition. They'll be playing 14 innings on Sunday. It looks like it's going to be a 2-7 game set. Charlie Brigham, Jared Greenspan, and William Suku on the call. A lot of Michigan fans probably jumping on that bandwagon last spring. A really exciting run to Omaha, Nebraska. Ended up losing to Vanderbilt in a national championship. But baseball is one of those weird sports where some of the games happen in the fall semester and then carry over into the winter semester, similar to volleyball and basketball. Definitely one of the longer seasons Michigan's has in its entire athletic department.
And it'll be interesting to see how the Wolverines come off that World Series appearance last year.
Yeah, for sure. They didn't lose too much. Maybe a few players in the pitching rotation, but Michigan definitely got its name around now after being in a national championship. And then this weekend you have volleyball on, women's volleyball. Looks like they're playing Penn State on Friday, who's the number 8th team in the nation, and then Rutgers on Saturday at 7 p.m. Rutgers, who hasn't had much success in the Big Ten, but Penn State is going to be a really good challenge for this women's volleyball team, who has a 12-4 record. They are 5-1 in conference, and they have a chance to do some damage this year. It's going to be Nick Hornberg, Alex Shee, and Adam Rich on the call for that game on Friday. Friday will be Nick Hornberg, Tammy Youssef, and Jared Greenspan. On Saturday, I messed this up. Hornberg, Shee, Adam Rich, and William Suku on the call on Friday at 8 p.m. And then coverage continues for Michigan women's volleyball on Saturday at 7 against Rutgers. Hornberg, Youssef, and Greenspan on the call for Michigan women's volleyball. Also look out for some player interviews that Nick Hornberg completes for the Sport Radio, one of the many types of coverage we do for WCBN Sports here at the University of Michigan. But back to soccer here. Looks like we have 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Just quick thoughts on the second half. We kind of went over it already. But, Amir, what does Michigan have to do? 2 things Michigan has to do to win this game.
Looking at it from a coach's perspective, there needs to be a midfielder that needs to step into that leadership role and own this game. Yes, it's not a non-conference game, but it's still a Western Michigan team that's only two hours away, so it's a rivalry game. So we're looking for somebody to step up in that midfield or defense and get these Wolverines back on track to winning this game ultimately. So I'm looking at the midfield play and the 50-50 balls for the Wolverines.
Yeah, so it's Western Michigan 4 shots, Michigan 3 shots. And in terms of shots on goals, it's Western Michigan 3 and Michigan 0. But don't let that stat deceive you, as a lot of teams in soccer can have their first shot on goal be their first goal. So things can change quickly, and that will hopefully.
The beauty of soccer.
Yeah, the beauty of soccer. And who knows when it happens? Maybe Popovich has 2 shots on goal, and those lead to 2 goals for the Michigan Wolverines. So I will now hand it off back to Josh, who will continue his play-by-play coverage of this Michigan men's soccer game against the Western Michigan Broncos. So Amir and Josh, take it away for the second half.
Welcome back, Josh.
Thank you very much. If you are joining us for the second half on YouTube, thank you for clicking on this link. If you are listening on the radio, welcome. Hopefully you listen to more of our WCBN games on our YouTube, as we only get one televised, radio game per week.
So, Josh, as we are 1 minute until the second half, what are your initial thoughts about this game so far?
My initial thoughts about this game are that Western Michigan is taking a much more aggressive approach than I think I would have guessed, and especially what Michigan Wolverines would have guessed. I don't think that they were ready for this onslaught of offense. The shots have been low but well placed, and I wouldn't be surprised if Western Michigan gets a multi-goal lead here.
For sure, and then if they get that multi-goal lead, I think they will play more of a defensive game and look to just take the 2-0 win back to Kalamazoo.
That is absolutely a possibility. I feel like Michigan will play a lot more aggressively this half, now that the clock is starting to tick down on them, the pressure. They've had this deficit now for 43 minutes. Pacelli looks like he's rushing onto the field. He was substituted in and now will get a second half start. Maybe some of the players like Derek Broche substituted off, Kevin Buka, Nebojsa Popovich all had 35 of the 45 minutes. Those are the top people for Michigan, and they will be back in for this second half start. I wouldn't be surprised to see them play the full 45.
Yeah, for sure. Boys are getting loose. Weather's cold. We're getting into fall. Seems like Michigan skipped over fall and went straight to winter.
Absolutely. Fall doesn't exist. I'm convinced. It's my first year in the state, and I'm convinced that fall just stops existing when you get north. I'm from New York, so we have fall. I was genuinely expecting some beautiful weather here this week, and it has not shown up.
Yeah, I think next week is supposed to get back into the 60s, and probably the last time we'll see them until March or April.
Yeah, here in Michigan, the weather just goes back and forth so quickly. 60 last week, and I reached 32 a couple days ago.
The boys are back on the field, and we're ready to go. Here's
Mark Ibarra facing backwards towards Michigan's half. Michigan on the right side, scoring to the left. Western Michigan on the left side, scoring to the right. The score, as we said, is 1-0. 45 minutes left in this half. Mark Ibarra passing over on the left side to Declan Gaffney. Over past halfway now, Declan Gaffney will get the ball back from a bunch of Western Michigan deflections, but looks like Max Keenan, who will be in this half for Western Michigan, is able to get a steal on it and sending back towards Michigan's way.
And that hard foul right there on Western Michigan's Caden Jackman is a tone setter by the Wolverines, saying you are not going to come into our house and bully us around. Look for U of M to come out ready to score.
I completely forgot about that aggressive pushing and shoving in the last 13 seconds of the game, or the half, for Michigan and Western Michigan towards Michigan's goal box. I would not be surprised if the teams have a little bit of bad blood coming in now. A long free kick from Liagre, sending it towards the box on the left side for Western Michigan, hoping something will happen as they back away from towards the goal. A cross getting towards the box. Joel Harrison gets a foot on it. Mark Ibarra sending it back out. Western Michigan playing right back. And now Nebojsa Popovich, surrounded by 4 defenders, sends it towards the right side for Joel Harrison. Harry Pithers now on the left. Back over into the box. Now Nebojsa Popovich passes it past Walker. It goes right over his head. Walker trying to go down, trying to get the ball. Popovich sending it up past the diving Walker, and it is 1-1. A minute and a half into this half.
Michigan returns the favor to the Broncos and says, okay, you score on us in 1 minute, we will match that. Let's play.
This game is heating up, and we are tied here in Ann Arbor. Nebojsa Popovich rushed by his teammates, scoring towards the Michigan bench. The Michigan bench, all the substitutes swarming him, the dog pile. And now Creek for Western Michigan Broncos will be starting with the ball. As soon as the crowd dies down, the Western Michigan fans taking up more of the stadium than the Michigan fans,
Yeah,
I would say, silenced.
Look for the game to open up now that it's 1-1. Western's on their heels. Anything can happen.
Last year, this game, this matchup between the two went into overtime, a 2-3 win by Michigan. In the second overtime by a senior who is no longer on the team. I do not remember his name.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we head towards another overtime, but Michigan definitely came ready to play the second half. Shaka Dela got the boys motivated.
Max Keenan coming down the right sideline for Western Michigan. A little bit of pushing and shoving by what looks to be Harry Pithers. A good play around for Keenan getting towards the center. Kicked away. Creek all alone at the top of the goal box. A pass in. A long kick, and now another goal by Western Michigan firing right back. Sharp has had opportunity after opportunity all day, and Western Michigan right back with the lead. 30 seconds after Michigan has scored. It is a 2-1 game. A little bit of roughhousing around Western Michigan with each other. Max Keenan with the assist, Sharp with the goal. The secondary assist may or may not come.
Yeah, that is soccer for you. 2 to 3 minutes after a goal is scored, it's very important to play defense and not deviate off of your track. And Western definitely is a good team, and they came back and got the goal.
A beautiful play by Keenan, trapped in the corner by Harry Pithers, kicking off of his heel while he was not facing towards the goal, running down the sideline towards Andrew Verdi, who has now let in 2 out of 11 goals for himself in this game.
Uncharacteristic of him.
Absolutely. Western Michigan has outscored their opponents by a ratio of 3-1. This season. Michigan only a factor of 2-1, and now Michigan is losing 2-1. A long kick towards the left side. Christian Pacelli for Michigan trying to get a foot on it, but it is sent away by a Western Michigan defender. Now Declan Gaffney will get a throw in about 10 yards from the goal line on the left side for Michigan, their more uncomfortable side, but also the side that the goal came from. A long throw for Declan Gaffney, a 50-50 ball, heads going on it, and it falls back to Declan, who will send it to Harry Pithers, getting closer towards the goal line on the left side of the box. Attempting a cross, cleared away by Western Michigan, but Mark Ibarra sends his foot on it, and a long kick into the box as Walker will jump over everyone and catch it. I don't think anyone was looking for him to be there, but he was.
Yeah, and Walker looks to slow the game down right now as Western's back on top 2-1 over the Wolverines.
Sending it past the halfway line, some heads getting on it. Jackson Reagan, the refs are saying there was too much contact on that one.
Yep, foul on Reagan, free kick for Western.
Michigan, everyone is back past the ball. The ball is on the circumference of the center circle, a little bit on the left side. Or just past the circumference it's being moved to now, closer to the accurate spot of the foul. Anthony Bowie will take the kick, sending it far past, and is caught by Andrew Verdi, who will roll it out. Now Mark Ibarra playing a much farther back roll than he has in most games, hoping to get a little defense, passes it over towards Pithers, almost goes out of bounds, but Pithers gets a foot on it. Now a little bit of triangle passing from Pithers, Gaffney, and Mark Ibarra. Now it goes to the right side. Tellez with it, crossing midfield. Attempted pass to Christian Pacelli, broken up by Western Michigan defenders. Now it goes back to Tellez. He's going towards the center, passing towards Mark Ibarra. Now Pithers on the left side, across. Western Michigan heads it away harmlessly. Now Bowie, sending it back towards Andrew Verdi.
Quick movement by the Wolverines as they get the midfielders involved. They're getting the wingers open and looking for those switches to catch the Broncos sleeping. Now
a clear attempt by Michigan will send it as a Michigan throw-in. Western Michigan getting a foot on it, it going out of bounds. Michigan's right side. A throw-in by Joel Harrison lands at the feet of Austin Swike. Inside the box, Pacelli attempting a cross. Nebojsa Popovich, a kick saved up in the air. Harry Pithers gets a head on it. It goes just to the left of the goal. Walker clapping, excited that that one did not go in.
Yeah, Nebojsa Popovich really wanted that one. The grad student coming in here with all the experience definitely knows what it feels like to play in these big games.
It was a strong kick. Now Marky Barr will take the corner from the left side. I'm surprised Hallahan hasn't gotten in this game. He's usually the main corner kick guy. I may have missed an injury report or something about him.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really see if he's even suited up for the game or not tonight.
No, that is the one problem with where we are. The benches are beneath us. Now Abdu Samaki, after a Western Michigan clear, gets a foot on it. Declan Gaffney sending it back towards the center of the field. Headed away by Skinner for Western Michigan. Now Western Michigan with another clear. One Western Michigan player, Sharp, surrounded by 4 Wolverines, and the ball winds back up at the feet of Jackson Reagan, dribbling forward towards the right side for Michigan. Excuse me. Jackson Reagan waiting with Abdu Samaki, Harrison, and Gaffney, waiting for something to conspire or happen. Michigan trying to get into defense. Pacelli getting open, rushing forwards towards midfield. Pacelli, a pass towards the right side. It bounces off Western Michigan defenders. Tellez, a pass. Now it's ran in towards the right side of the box. A cross attempt deflected away by Western Michigan. And now there will be a corner kick.
We're only 8 minutes into the game, and it feels like we're a lot further in, but lots and lots of movement by both Western and Michigan Wolverines.
Absolutely. Western Michigan with a lot of quick substitutions, I would say, in the last half, taking men off and on at will. I would not be surprised to see more of that in the second half.
Especially with the 2-1 lead to slow the game down.
A corner kick finds its way towards the ground this time. Walker not getting a hand on it, and it is sent away by Western Michigan defenders towards Abdu Samaki at the center circle. He's now passing it towards the right side with Jackson Reagan. Back to Swike. Sends it far. Christian Pacelli waiting for it. Headed away by Western Michigan. Tellez. Nebojsa Popovich has his feet on it, and a beautiful diving save by Walker.
I don't know what Shaka said to Nebojsa, but he definitely is playing the second half a lot better than the first half, making a presence.
I would not be surprised if Shaka Daly just said, "What's happening?" Now, Walker, a long punt out towards around the back half of the circle. Western Michigan trying to get rid of Tellez, who is very closely guarding Creek. Creek will pass it backwards and now on the left side for Western Michigan. Again, Western Michigan heading towards my right and Michigan heading towards my left. The score is 2-1 with 36:51 left as Western Michigan clears it in towards the zone. Bowie, guarded by Harrison. Harrison gets a foot on it, and it will be a throw-in.
Saves it from being a corner kick. Big play.
Absolutely. Really sliding out there, rotating his body to make sure the ball doesn't go out on the goal line and instead the sideline. A throw into Bowie. Bowie passes Swike. He's going towards the goal, and an attempted cross finds no one. As it rolls out, Liagre sends a cross in, and as Creek falls down on top of the ball, it'll be Andrew Verity. Oh, it'll be a corner kick. I apologize.
Western earns the corner kick out of that play. Looks like Bowie wants to take a quick corner.
Andrew Verity directing his men around. Very excited that the last play did not go in. A lot of clapping from him. Now it looks like they are ready. A strong cross cleared away by Declan Gaffney. It's very high up into the air. Falling inbounds. Harry Pithers on the right side, trying to make something happen by himself, but 3 Western Michigan Broncos saying no to that. Declan Gaffney attempting to play defense, and it'll go off the foot of Joel Harrison for another Western Michigan corner kick by Anthony Bowie.
Yeah, another corner kick earned by the Broncos. They're looking to get that third goal and coast.
What we saw in the first half, a lot of back and forth has not really been happening this half. Both teams have been having concentrated offensive attacks for sustaining minutes at a time. Bowie ready, sending into the box. It goes over most heads. An attempted header by Western Michigan, but it goes far wide. And now 2 substitutions from Western Michigan. Number 12 and number 14, Ruddick and Singh, going in for Caden Jackman and Brendan Skinner. With NCAA soccer rules, those 2 are out for the rest of the game unless overtime comes.
Yeah, I'm surprised with the quick subs by Western Michigan here. Only 10 minutes into the second half.
Andrew Verdi winding up to take a long goal kick. Michigan playing farther forward than they do on most goal kicks, but as usual, Jackson Reagan, back. Goes just past halfway, 50-50 ball, ending up on Western Michigan's feet. Max Keenan, a long kick, sailing high over the goal into the netting to protect the streets and the houses beyond us.
Yeah, looking to get that quick goal against U of M as Andrew Verdi was a little bit out of his box, looking to chip the goalie.
Andrew Verdi now, another attempt at this kick. As we said, Michigan's got to start winning these 50-50 balls if they want to have a chance of breaking this 2-1 deficit.
Another 50-50 won by the Broncos, and then Michigan gets it right back. Another 50-50 ball up in the air, won by the Wolverines.
Now it's still bouncing around up in the air on the Michigan Wolverine zone. It's now sent halfway. Thank you for listening to us on 88.3 FM WCBN Ann Arbor. Now Austin Swike will have the ball. As he passes it, there's a free kick for Michigan. Now Mark Ibarra crossing through the circle. Things are heating up here. Declan Gaffney on the left sideline, passing back across the midline to Jackson Reagan, who is surrounded by 3 Western Michigan defenders, sending it to Mark Ibarra. He's running backwards now, trying to make a U-turn, trying to get this defender off of him. He can't shake the defender, so he elects to pass all the way across field, stopping at Jackson Reagan. Now over to Tellez. Tellez with a long pass in towards the box on the right side, but it rolls errantly out of bounds.
Yeah, smartly shielded out by Alex Ruddick, the senior out of Caledonia, Michigan.
Now Walker will have a goal kick. This clock is starting to tick down for Michigan. I'm sure they're starting to feel the pressure, not wanting to have 2 losses in a row. They haven't done that since the very beginning of the season.
And we can see the teams both settling in after that chaotic first 10 minutes where both teams scored.
A quick throw, and now Sharp has no one to beat, but the defender coming up behind him, and Andrew Verdi, a soft shot, would have been far left, but Verdi elects to take it in his paws, mitts, and now give a long kick. As he does, a 50-50 ball. Nebojsa Popovic and Christian Pacelli there. A pass to Nebojsa Popovic on the right side of the field. He's running towards the center. A kick blocked by a Western Michigan defender beautifully, turning around, showing him his heel. Now Western Michigan mounting an attack of their own, racing down past halfway. Bowie passing to Sharp, but Samaki gets a foot on it. Now it's a throw-in for Bowie.
Going back to the sub of Caden Jackman, a midfielder for Alex Ruddick, it seems that Western is going to be playing more defensive as they have 5 defenders back there.
I would not be surprised if they just want to park the bus, take this win back to Kalamazoo, say we beat Michigan. Can we get in the top 25 now?
Got the sweep against the Wolverines and the Spartans.
Yeah.
But still lots of soccer left here as we have 31 minutes and 15 seconds left.
The entire state would be theirs. Now a Michigan throw-in. Joel Harrison on the right side.
We can't do that when the Wisconsin Badgers already own some football.
Oh my! And if you watch Monday Night Football, they also own Michigan in regular football too. And now, a strong slide tackle from Max Keenan takes down Declan Gaffney. Declan Gaffney is injured on the play. The play is not stopping as Keenan takes it all the way towards the goal box, passing to Sharp, who's on the right side. Back to Creek. Sharp moving in. Creek breaking the goal box. A lot of fancy footwork. He falls down, and the play is stopped. Declan Gaffney is up. That is a fortunate thing.
Foul on Western for what seems to be a flop in the box. Referee was not going to take any of that.
I would not be surprised if that were the case. Creek ending on the ground. Now he's visibly upset. Verdi will take the kick from a couple yards outside of his box. and he sends it 50-50 ball in the air. Tellez gets ahead on it. Now it's going to break the plane of Michigan defenders. Christian Pacelli almost getting it. He was knocked down by the two defenders from behind him. The ref says clean play, and Walker now has the ball. He sends it after getting pressured a bit by Pacelli, 50-50. Reagan gets ahead on it. Pithers now sending it towards Ybarra. Now at the half line, Swake attempting to pass to Pacelli. Western Michigan intercepts and takes a clear. Now on the right sideline for Michigan, Joel Harrison will throw it in.
Yeah, Western's just basically kicking the ball out, not taking any chances on their defensive third, looking to keep the ball on the attack and look to get that third goal to seal this victory in Ann Arbor tonight.
Michigan can't score if the ball's not in their zone. That might be the mindset that Western Michigan Broncos are playing with. Now, a throw-in on the right side, about 15 yards past the half line for Michigan. Pacelli with the ball on the right side, back to Harrison, who threw it in. Almost lost it. Now Pacelli closer to center. Pithers attempts to cross into the box for Marky Barr and Aboja Popovich. Neither one was there as the ball was intercepted by Western Michigan, sent away. Declan Gaffney, a beautiful move to get past Beaker.
Yeah, and Western's playing with 10 defenders behind the ball right now, only leaving one striker.
And of course, that striker is sharp, a dangerous offensive weapon. Now inside the box, Michigan, Pacelli, a touch pass, almost an Aboja Popovich, does not make it. Western Michigan electing to, instead of clear, send it to the left side, Michigan's more uncomfortable side, as Declan Gaffney attempts to throw it in with some haste, trying to keep this pressure on him.
Yeah, lots of movement by the Wolverines.
Now, with nothing really showing up, Declan Gaffney throws it in, and Western Michigan gets some heads on it, sending it closer towards midfield. Marky Barra with his steals it away from Western Michigan, and an attempted clear rolls out of bounds on the left side to Declan Gaffney. Another throw-in for him.
The past few attacks by the Wolverines, every single time they touch the ball, there's at least 2 to 3 defenders on them.
They are absolutely being swarmed by a smothering defensive style from Western Michigan. Now, Joel Harrison attempting to take the ball all the way by himself from the half line to the goal box, gets tripped up, sent through the air, and Western Michigan tries to clear it. Jackson Reagan there, though. Now he sends it to the left side with Declan Gaffney. Waiting. Back towards center with Jackson Reagan. On the right side, Sumaki. Passing forward to Tellez. Tellez will pass it through to Western Michigan defenders to Swike. Attempted pass by Swike back to Tellez does not end up working out, but he gets the ball back. Now Marky Barra successfully sending it to Joel Harrison, who's playing a much more offensive role. A cross caught by Walker, Isaac Walker, and he will throw or kick.
He's been having a great game tonight in his box, only allowing 1 goal tonight for the Wolverines.
1 goal, but Michigan is now up to 8 shots, 3 of which on goal. Western Michigan only having 1 additional shot on goal this half, that being the goal. Now Harry Pithers attempting to win a 50-50 ball for Michigan. It does not end up working out. Max Keenan now sending it towards Jake DeJulio inside the corner. He almost sends it out of bounds, but he does not. Keenan attempting a cross. It is knocked out for a corner by Jackson Reagan, thinking that a corner kick would be less dangerous than whenever the cross was going to get.
For sure.
2 substitutions coming in for Western Michigan. Eric Connerty and Brendan Skinner coming back into this game. Coming out is Alex Ruddick and David Bowie. Anthony Bowie. Thinking of Bowie, my bad. Anthony Bowie, he is one of the greater offensive weapons for Western Michigan. He will not be back in this game unless it goes to overtime. I feel like Western Michigan will take a more defensive approach. Now the ball inside the box for Keenan, cleared away by Michigan defenders. A bullet of a shot from Western Michigan off Abdou Samaki, and now Western Michigan will take an attempt as an attack, but no one is there. A little bit of contact between Tellez and a Western Michigan defender.
Looks like a hard foul, but the referee is letting him play, and Western kicks the ball out for good sportsmanship.
That's very nice to see, especially with how heated the game got a little while ago between these two teams. Tellez is up on his feet. He played the full 90 minutes the past 2 games. Those are the first 2 times he's done that.
He's stepped up big for the Wolverines so far.
He absolutely has. Now Walker with the ball. Waiting for something to happen. 25 minutes left here in Ann Arbor on 88.3 FM WCBN. Thank you for tuning into us on the radio or on YouTube. Tellez now attempting to get ahead on it. 50-50 ball bouncing around. Western Michigan. Keenan at center. A touch pass to Creek, back to Keenan. Now on the left side, an attempted offensive attack. And it looks like they will breach the box with Creek, who will run outside towards the left sideline. Swike playing some very good defense. He gets around him, though. And a kick attempt will be knocked down. And just going to the right of the flag, it'll be a corner kick for Western Michigan.
Seems like we got a couple subs here coming in for the Wolverines, looking like number 10.
7 and 10, Derek Broche and Umar Farouk Osman. Derek Broche, the most recent goal scorer for Michigan. And the corner kick is sent in as a dribble. And a beautiful clear from Nebojsa Popovich. Now Western Michigan maintaining possession a little bit beyond the half line. A 50-50 ball won by Western Michigan. And now Liagre towards the corner of the goal box, attempting a cross. Jackson Reagan gets a foot on it. Harry Pithers trying to take it away from Western Michigan. He cannot. Now Mark Ybarra trying it for himself. Christian Baselli pressuring. And he managed to get the ball, but it will go off him as it goes out of bounds. Oh, I am wrong. It goes off Western Michigan as it goes out of bounds. And there will be substitutions. As we said, Derek Broche heading in. Umar Farouk Osman. Coming out is Declan Gaffney and Christian Pulselli.
Yeah, we got two forwards coming in here for the Wolverines, looking to create more of an attack as we are 25 minutes under the second half.
Derek Broche against Detroit Mercy 2 games ago, the last home game in Ann Arbor. Scored 3 minutes after being substituted in.
I think they're looking to get that same thing tonight.
Derek Broche now towards the ball as Western Michigan clears it. Out of bounds on the right side for Michigan, Joel Harrison. A hard throw-in past most defenders, but Western Michigan will clear it up in the air. A 50-50 ball, won back by Joel Harrison. That's a rarity. Derek Broche with the ball now, passing back beyond the half line. Now sent forwards to Harry Pithers on the right side towards the corner of the stadium. Attempted cross gets nothing, but Tellez, a pass to Swike, who will take a strong kick, and it will go just wide. No need for Isaac Walker to react there.
Yep. He's going to take his time now here on the goal kick, giving Western a chance to catch their breath as the Wolverines are looking to get that tying goal.
Isaac Walker setting up on the left side of his little box.
Yeah, Shaka doesn't look too happy, yelling at the ref here. Goalie's taking way too long for this goal kick.
Sent far beyond the half line again. A 50-50 ball. This time looks like it will be won by Michigan as Joel Harrison will throw it in at about the half line. It sneaks past a bunch of defenders on the ground, but Mark Ybarra trips up trying to get to it. Nothing will come of that. And now there is a foul on Michigan.
On the Wolverines.
Creek trying to get the ball out of the hands of Jackson Reagan. Playing a little keep away there.
Yeah, not too smart on Jackson Reagan here as the Wolverines are down 2-1 with 21 minutes left in the first half, or second half.
No matter how upset you get at these calls, this is not the time for fun and games and to be a little bit of a playful person. This is time to play the game. An attempted clear by Farouk Osman, intercepted by Western Michigan's Connerty. Connerty with a cross, a header. Does not have anything successful as Verity gets his hands on it. A slow header. Derek Broche along the right sideline. A pass for him rolls it out of bounds. He would have had only one defender to beat.
Yeah, on that last attack by the Broncos, it looks like there's some confusion up top at who was going to look to finish that ball. And as we have Anthony Bowie coming back in for number
25, Sharp.
Sharp, yep.
So an offensive weapon for an offensive weapon.
Yeah, the former Michigan Mr. Soccer back here and for the Broncos.
Now Broncos in the back. ready to launch an attack. Now Bowie just coming in, passes Jackson Reagan. He's got on the right side of the box an attempted cross, a sliding interception made by Jackson Reagan, and now it's a corner kick.
Yeah, that didn't take too long for Bowie to make his presence here.
Absolutely not. The Michigan Wolverines feeling the pressure now. 20 minutes left. 2-1 for Western Michigan. Now they're taking their time getting towards the corner. It'll be the right side for Western Michigan. Have to lean to see what it is. The fans for Western Michigan energized.
Very good crowd tonight by the Broncos.
It's only a 2-hour drive from Kalamazoo. Now Nebojsa Popovich taking the corner by himself, an interception. Now he's sprinting up the field. No one was there to help him out. A slide tackle by an opposing player sends the ball out of bounds. Michigan will set up an offensive play. As it was actually a foul called. And now Harrison will pass towards Ybarra. And now Tellez on the left side of the field. Tellez towards Swyke by the sidelines. Farouk Osman. Swyke. Ybarra attempting to get into the box. Tellez on the left side of the box. A shot almost in, but it is kept out just on the goal line by Walker, taking a breath. That was a very high shot, arching up, just not crossing the goal line by a matter of inches, I would say. Walker collided into by Nebojsa Popovich. Some Western Michigan fans not happy about the contact, but the play stands.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was a foul here called by the ref protecting the goalie.
Harry Pithers attempting to kick it towards the goal, goes out of bounds. He thinks there's deflection. The refs do not. It'll be a throw-in on the left side for Western Michigan. Western Michigan, some heads on their left flank. Jackson Reagan intercepting it, though, sending it to Farouk Osman. Ybarra in the center circle. Tellez stepping on the center point. Back to Harrison. Harrison now dribbling forwards. Pithers on the right sideline. 2 defenders by him. Backwards towards Harrison. Harrison tripped up, but nothing happens. He stays on his feet.
Advantage given by the referee here as the Wolverines are on the attack.
Tellez now to Swyke on the left side. An attempted pass into the box towards Broche, but Western Michigan number 12, Dylan Singh, gets a foot on it. And now a throw-in attempt by Swyke towards Broche. Broche is stopped by a body from Western Michigan, and now it goes out of bounds. It's a goal kick. A Western Michigan substitution. Caden Jackman back in the game. Coming out, Brendan Skinner. Again, these quick substitutions.
Yeah, the crafty midfielders back in here looking to calm the team down and possess the ball for Western.
If I remember correctly, you have some connection to Caden Jackman.
Yes, I played with Caden at Caledonia on the varsity team, so we go back here a little bit.
Got any information for the Wolverines?
I already talked to Shaka pregame.
Naturally. Now Western Michigan attempting to set up an attack. Bowie, a long goal shot just past the goalpost as it rolls out of bounds. That would have been a very long goal. I thought it was going in.
Yeah, it was a 20-yard, just basically a tap-in, not the greatest shot on goal. Verdi was not on his line, and Bowie wanted to get a quick one.
Verdi dove for it. It missed him. It really looked like it was going in. Just missing the post by a couple of feet. That might have been the final nail in the coffin had that gone in. Especially with that kind of goal, it would be deflating for the Wolverines. Now attempting attack on the left side. A bad pass from Farouk Osman towards Broche. Nothing coming of these attacks. Trying to go through Broche towards Walker. Now it will be a throw-in for Western Michigan. The ref whistling.
Seems like we have some confusion on the throw-in here, where the spot should be taken.
Again, thank you for joining us on YouTube or 88.3 FM, WCBN, Ann Arbor. Verdi with the ball now, just outside his box on the left side. Passes out towards Mark Ybarra, being swarmed by 3 Western Michigan defenders. Swyke on the left side. Now Reagan, back to Verdi in the center of his box by the little dot.
Penalty spot.
Penalty spot, that's what they're called. Thank you.
I got you.
Terminology is not exactly my forte in soccer. I do not play, but you do, right?
I have played. I played all the way through high school, and now I'm playing on fun teams. But you're doing good tonight.
Thank you very much. A throw-in on the left flank for Western Michigan University. The Broncos taking their time. 15 minutes left in this game. 2-1 Western Michigan.
Yeah, it looks like Caden Jackman is throwing it in for the Broncos.
Past half field, going towards Bowie. Bowie now just has Jackson Reagan to beat on the left side, but defenders are catching up to him. There's a little bit of contact taken down, and the refs are calling for
Looks like he awarded a corner kick here. Bowie wanted the foul, but they'll settle for the corner as they look to deflate the ball and take as much time off the clock as possible.
Mark Ibarra not happy about the call being corner, wanting it to be a goal kick. The ref shrugging his shoulders, what can I do? That's what I see. Now a corner kick from the left side for Western Michigan. He's ready. Sending it in towards the box. A head on it from Michigan. Bowie. It's bouncing around. Now it's on the ground. And cleared almost by Joel Harrison. He slips and falls. Attempted.
Seems like we have a foul here by the ref.
All right, Michigan now giving the ball to Verdi. Well, he'll take a short pass towards Mark Ibarra, running up the center stretch of the field, making it past the half line towards Farouk Osman. Now Swike on the left side, attempting to get something towards Neboja Popovich, but Liagre for Western Michigan all over that left side for Michigan.
Yeah, the Wolverines are being able to. Well, looks like Verdi having a little bit of trouble with that pass back to him. Yeah, the Wolverines are creating opportunities, getting their wingers open, just not able to get that final ball out to their wingers.
Now on the right side, Samaki to Tellez as he crosses midfield with a pass towards Harrison. Harrison playing a lot further up this half than he was last half.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing a defensive mid here as the Wolverines have three in the back.
Now it'll be a throw-in as a pass towards Harrison is deflected away by Western Michigan. Harrison throwing to a downed Tellez. It bounces off Tellez's chest, and now it'll be a Western Michigan throw-in on their left wing. Throws it in towards Giuseppe Vitali, who sends it to Creek, surrounded by three Michigan defenders. One of them who gets his foot on it, Jackson Reagan, a pass towards Farouk Osman in the center of the field. Back to Swike. Now Neboja Popovich all the way alone on the left side. Running towards the goal line. A cross attempt blocked by, looks like Beek, or maybe it's Connerty.
Yeah, corner kick awarded to the Wolverines.
This will be their seventh corner kick of the game. Fifth corner kick of the game.
Maybe this is the one that they need, that they get to even the game out.
Western Michigan is the team that has had 6 corner kicks so far. Now it looks like Mark Ibarra taking it, sending it in. Osman gets a head on it, but it goes the wrong way. Now Joel Harrison trying to get something with it, getting it past Dylan Singh. Singh kicking it into Harrison's feet, and it goes off Harrison. It'll be a throw-in for Western Michigan.
Yeah, as we have another sub coming in for both the Wolverines and the Western Michigan Broncos.
Charlie Sharp coming back in. I guess I have to update my knowledge of the NCAA rulebook about when substitutions are allowed. And Carter Payne making his debut for this game, coming in for Abdou Samaki. And coming off is Connerty for Western Michigan University Broncos. Now Mark Ibarra on the left side, tripped up, and there's a foul awarded by the refs for the Michigan Wolverines. A free kick. Mark Ibarra will take it.
Yeah.
About 15 yards away from the goal line.
Seems like the Wolverines have added an
Not goal
extra attacker.
The half line, I'm sorry. And with 11.5 minutes left on the right side, there are a lot of players towards the far line of the 18-yard box. A long kick, trying to get something on it. Off the back of the head of Jackson Reagan. Western Michigan clears a high into the air. Joel Harrison missing where it's going to land. He misses the ball with his feet as it bounces, and now Western Michigan wins that 50-50 toss-up. Dylan Singh, a long pass towards the right wing for Western Michigan. Creek by the sideline. He's getting closer towards the back of the playing pitch. He's tripped up by Austin Swike, who will send an attempted clear, bouncing off Creek's foot. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in taken by Austin Swike.
Yeah, I really like how the referee is allowing the boys to play even as it gets scrappy out there.
These final 10 minutes will be crucial for the Wolverines, trying to tie it up, send this game to an extra 30 minutes.
Yeah, like we talked at halftime, the keys to change the game, winning the 50-50s. The Wolverines have been successful on that. Now it's just winning that second and third ball after the 50-50s to capitalize on the goal.
Swike will take a long kick, and it'll end up as a 50-50, won by, still bouncing around, Mark Ibarra for Michigan, a little bit farther back than they would have liked, but he sends a long pass into the box, attempted for Nebojsa Popovich. It is intercepted by Liagre for Western Michigan. And Joel Harrison taken down hard by Sharp.
Yeah, not a
They're
play.
getting into it now. The ball went off Harrison's foot, and it'll be...
Yeah, that play right there really didn't seem like there was any intention for the ball right there. No card awarded for the referee, which
The
is very
foul
interesting.
was called. Swike will take the kick now. It definitely seemed like an aggressive play, but that is how this team has been playing this game, aggressively.
Yeah, and the best way to come back is just score on this free kick right here for the Wolverines to show them that you can't push me around here.
Take the wind out of their sails a little bit. Harrison playing forward, hoping to be the one to take the goal. And Walker jumps up, takes the ball in his hands. A little contact with Harrison there. Walker's not happy about that.
Yeah, he's looking to get the referee involved in this game, and it's never fun when the referee has to decide the outcome of a game.
You should know you're a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
Now the ball going back to the left wing for
It's too early, man. Too early.
for Anthony Bowie. There'll be a throw-in for Michigan Wolverines. Now Western Michigan attempting to pressure the Wolverines into making a mistake. Nothing happening, but it is Western Michigan's ball. Pass from Sharp behind his back. No one around to get it, though. And now the Wolverines will launch an offensive with the final 8.5 minutes into this game. Jackson Reagan, a high pass into the air, looking for Pithers, but nothing will come of that. Reagan getting head-to-head contact, and it's a foul on Michigan. Reagan hitting the ball, but also what looks to be Dylan Singh's head with his own head.
Yeah.
And now people, there's definitely almost a skirmish. This game is getting much more heated.
Yeah, the referee had no choice other than to call that a foul as he let the last play go, even though it was a foul in my opinion. But this one, he's like, I got to settle this game before we have a legitimate fight out on the field.
I would not be surprised if we start seeing something closer to hockey with the body checks and the...
It is that weather.
It really is. Michigan hockey,
Yeah.
just starting their season.
They take on Western Michigan next week Friday here at Yost Arena.
And this Friday, I believe, is a double game against Superior State on Friday and Saturday. Now back to the action. Farouk Osman crossing half line. Nebojsa Popovich, no one to beat but the goalie and one defender. But Walker gets it down into his body and is able to control the ball before Nebojsa can get a foot on it.
Yeah, not a bad look right there to find Nebojsa's feet. He's been the goal scorer for U of M.
Now attempted 50-50 ball won by the Michigan Wolverines. Harry Pithers taken down. It's a foul awarded against, looks like Giuseppe Vitali. Now the Wolverines, 7.5 minutes left. Oh, it was Caden Jackman, I'm sorry. 15 and 18 look similar from this distance. Now about 10 yards away from the half line, closer towards the middle of the field than the right side, but still on the right half of the pitch.
Yeah, Western playing a high defensive line on the top of the 18-yard box.
It's sent into the box. Nebojsa Popovich gets ahead on it, but so does Western Michigan defender. And Austin Swike will try to get something going, but it'll be cleared by a Bronco.
And the Western Michigan Broncos have parked the bus here in Ann Arbor.
Successfully. Now Verdi coming very far out of his box, almost to within 10 yards of the halfway line. Kick attempted. Now Derek Broche all in, but it is cleared away by Western Michigan. And now coming down the left sideline is Bowie. Bowie, a long pass attempt to Sharp, and it'll be kicked away by Andrew Verdi.
Yeah,
But-
Verdi having to hustle back here as the Broncos look to capitalize on another Verdi outside of his box.
Swike now on the left side, dribbling with the ball, sending a high pass into the zone. Derek Broche looking for a foul. Nothing happens, though. And
Correct.
I am mistaken. It is a foul. The ref a little slow to call that one, but it does happen.
Yeah, a hard foul here coming in from behind.
That'll be taken about 10 or 15 yards out from the goal box. A little less, actually,
Looks like it's about, I'd say about 25 yards out.
from the goal.
Definitely good range to put it on net. If I'm taking the shot, it's definitely on net looking to get a rebound.
A wall of 4 men for Western Michigan. Mark Ibarra taking this, hoping to equalize it. 5.5 minutes left. Time ticking down. It is a curving shot heading straight into the hands and body of Isaac Walker, shutting down almost everything that Michigan has to offer.
Yeah, not a bad take. Not a bad shot here, but yeah, goalie's been.
That is the 10th shot for Michigan. 3 on goal so far.
Walker has been a shutout tonight, other than the one early goal in the second half.
Almost a shutout.
Almost.
Now Swike on the left side to Farouk Osman as he passes it towards Mark Ibarra, crossing midfield. Mark Ibarra, 2 defenders around him, back to Farouk Osman. Now Swike, a long cross into the box. It is offsides on the Michigan Wolverines, their 3rd of the night.
Yeah, and a costly one here as we're under 5 minutes left in Ann Arbor.
Thank you for listening to us on YouTube or 88.3 FM WCBN Ann Arbor. Walker taking his time. Clock ticking down, 4:21 left. A long kick, a 50-50 ball. Michigan needs to win this one, and they do. Carter Payne coming up with it. A long pass up to Derek Broche, surrounded by 2 Western Michigan Broncos. He's on the right side, and it goes out of bounds off the foot of one of the Broncos. Michigan Wolverines will have a throw-in.
Yeah, it looks like Carter's been that one player that's trying to be the spark for the Wolverines here, getting subbed on. I think it was about 22 minutes left in the second half, looking to spark the Wolverines to possibly open up and get that second goal.
A long throw-in towards the box. A strong kick by Tellez, blocked away by the back of a defender. Tellez, a header again, goes far wide. If you put a second goal next to the goal, it still would have missed that goal. But it's okay. The Michigan Wolverines helping out Walker with the ball placement, getting things a little quickly.
Yeah, trying to hurry it up here.
Walker not happy with the placement, though. Moving it a couple inches, taking his time, lacing his shoes, pulling up his socks.
I think he's going to change his gloves here in a second.
If anyone remembers the Tottenham Hotspur Ajax game where the goalie took too long and got a yellow card, and then immediately the Hotspur came to score and tie it up. That was a big game. Don't want to see something like that happen here. Now clear into the box for Michigan, and Derek Broche looking for a foul to be drawn, nothing coming of it. Harry Pithers on the right flank for Michigan, running towards the back. Nothing happening, though, as Western Michigan is able to steal it, clear it away. And now with 2.5 minutes left, Michigan, everyone sprinting,
Yeah,
hoping something will happen.
There.
Now Verity passing it towards Payne. Payne to Pithers on the right side. Now Tellez with it. Mark Ibarra in towards the box, but he's bodied out and taken down by a defender looking for a foul. Does he get it?
Nothing from the ref.
He does not, as he is sent towards the gravel. That seems like a poor design choice.
Looks like the referee stopping the clock for a sub here for the Broncos is
Antonio Rizzo coming off his creek. Now it's a goal kick for Isaac Walker with about 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Michigan, a 1-goal deficit.
Yeah, it looks like the referee is caught on to the Broncos' tactic of taking time off the clock.
A long 50-50 ball needs to be won by Michigan again. There's a foul on the play. And Michigan with the ball. Maybe it was offsides.
No, it was a foul.
Fantastic. Now Verity trying to send it towards the box. Western Michigan had some people on it, but now Austin Swike down the left side alone, 2 defenders on him, and now it is a Michigan throw-in.
Yeah, everybody's back here for the Broncos as they have 1:30 left in the second half.
The throw goes towards the box, deflected away peacefully. Swike a long shot attempt, or maybe it was a clear or a cross, trying to get something to go down. Nothing happens. It's sent away calmly by Western Michigan defenders. They seem very confident that they will take this W back home to Kalamazoo. Verity sending it towards the box. Walker over everyone. Absolutely impressive with his vertical height.
Yeah, Nebosha really wanted that one. He's not too happy with himself right there.
Now, Walker, a long kick. Again, if Michigan needs to get something, this is going to be their last chance.
Yeah, we have 43 seconds left here in Ann Arbor.
Michigan does not want to take these 2 straight losses heading into a long stretch of Notre Dame and then Big Ten play. These next couple games can strongly decide the seeding. Now an attempted send towards the box. Harrison has to control it. In towards the box. Ybarra, Jackson Reagan gets a hand on it, and it goes just wide. Mere inches away from going into the goal. Walker was not there. The defenders for Western Michigan were not there. 14 seconds left. 13, 12. This will be the end of the game because if we know one thing is that Walker will not, kick.
Yeah, he'll kick it with 1 second left as here as the Broncos get a big win in Ann Arbor.
Thank you for joining us. We have to go now. Oh, I was misreading the hand signal. We have 5 more minutes here. So, thank you very much for joining us on YouTube and WCBN FM 88.3 Ann Arbor. The Western Michigan University Broncos coming into Ann Arbor on this frigid night, getting a quick goal in the first half, making it 1-0. Western Michigan taking that lead into the halftime break. The Wolverines scoring a minute and a half into the second, looking much more confident. And then a half minute later, Michigan will let up another goal, and that would be all she wrote when it comes to scoring.
Yeah, the summary of this game is probably just quick goals. I mean, Western in the first half scored with 2 minutes into the game to give them the 1-0 lead. And then the second half, Michigan comes out, gets an early goal, and Western strikes right back with a goal of their own to eventually seal the deal.
The final statistics for this game, Western Michigan, 8 shots to Michigan's 11. Western Michigan's 4 shots on goal to Michigan's 3. 2 saves made by each goalie. 14 fouls for Western Michigan Broncos. The Wolverines only 6. 6 corners for Western Michigan, 4 for the Wolverines. 3 offsides for the Wolverines to 0 for the Broncos.
Yeah, big win for the Broncos here as they come into Ann Arbor and steal one from the Wolverines. Definitely would not be surprised to see the Broncos in the top 25 next week.
Jackson Reagan with a shot 89 minutes, 37 seconds in. That was the last thing that was in this game. Very, very close. There were a couple of fantastic opportunities as Western Michigan playing to the, I was going to say home crowd. That's false. The away crowd.
Seemed like we were in Kalamazoo for a second.
It really did. If you can hear on the natural mic, the absolute ovations that the Broncos fans came in droves to Ann Arbor. I went down to the bathroom and with so many fans for Broncos. Very impressive.
Yeah, it looks like the Broncos this year are the team to beat in the state of Michigan as they beat the Michigan State Spartans earlier this year 1-0 in East Lansing, and they steal one here in Ann Arbor 2-1.
The Wolverines, when they win a game, there's much more celebration than what's happening for them right now, sitting on their rollers. Just sad, defeated. And I can't help but laugh that the joy that the Broncos have. Jerseys are coming off.
Looks like the Wolverines are not too happy with the Broncos coming in here and celebrating on their home turf.
Some pushing and shoving. Security getting involved for both sides now.
Yeah, not too smart here by the Wolverines. As much as it sucks to come in here and lose a tough match, definitely take this as motivation.
The taunts by Western Michigan. Now, I would say that this was a great game with the competitive spirit in the heat of the moment. It looks like it's not dying down as the game ends. You almost hate to see that.
Yeah, it kind of takes away from a great match today.
I liked Western Michigan Broncos as a team until about 1 minute ago, and now I hope they lose every game in the MAC.
Yeah, not too quality of a celebration here on the field. As a coach, I would take that back to the locker room. But soccer is soccer, and Western Michigan did come out on top tonight.
Absolutely. It was a great game for a long, long time. Very heavily contested in the second half. We got to wrap it up here. So, once again, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on 88.3 FM, WCBN Ann Arbor. For myself, I'm Joshua Tenzer.
And I'm Amir Bektas here signing off.
And Jack Molino, who did color for the first half. Sorry for jumping in on you.
No.
Thank you for listening to us. And as always, go blue.